Welcome to Skylon, a new venue for us. Now, I don't want to worry Skylon, but the last two venues we've used closed shortly after we had our events. So, hence the new venue. But actually, it's also a bit indicative of the trading environment we're operating in. Obviously, it's quite tough for the hospitality sector at the moment, retail sector. So obviously, we were delighted at PPL to be able to carry on growing our revenue, and we got up to £283 million last year. And with the 4 weeks to go of important collections, we are planning on projecting on growing that again this year, but we'll see where we get to by the end of the year. And on that regard, I'd just like to say a particular thank you to our joint venture with PRS that we have up in Leicester, PPL PRS Limited, obviously at the coalface, trying to do some of the licensing on the public performance side. And a particular big thank you to Andrea Gray, who's joined us today. She's just a few months ago just stepped down as the MD after 5 years. So thank you for coming along today, Andrea, and thank you so much for everything you did over that 5-year period, getting us through COVID, everything else. And I think a round of applause for Andrea, please, actually. And also a big thank you for a very smooth handover to our number 2, Greg Alio, is now, and I wish Greg all the very best as we go forward. Obviously still quite tough trading conditions going into next year with the recent budget and things affecting hospitality retail. So anyway, no problem though, Greg. Also a big thank you to the PPL team. Obviously all the licensing we've been doing across broadcast, dubbing, international, but also all the teams trying to provide services across the industry and getting money out to over 165,000 performers and record companies being paid at least once over the last year is quite a number. And so big thank you to the team there. And actually in PPL's 90th year, we now pay, compared to 10 years ago, we now pay 90,000 more performers and record companies than we did just 10 years ago, which is quite a nice round thing for our 90th anniversary. But that has been really quite impressive progress. But that's not just down to the team at PPL, that's across the whole industry. And I think, again, we've had massive collaboration from performers and record companies, the drive in moving data and getting data better across the industry over the last 10 years, and all the initiatives, working through all those detailed schedules of what you record, what you own, in which territory, for which period, and performer lineups. So again, really good amount of joint work across the industry, which has allowed us to do those kind of pretty large numbers. I'm not sure the last time we counted up to 90,000, but that's quite a lot of performers and record companies. The event itself actually is 43 years old. Funny enough, I was just talking to Martin Mills about this as to when this first started, and I was in contact because actually it was started in 1981 by our former chair and CEO, Fran Navakla, when he was back in his Warner Music days. And it first started off as a collection of about 20 lawyers back in the day. I was trying to think of some funny jokes around lawyers, but being one myself, I'm moving swiftly on. I actually first attended back in 1996 and was going to have a competition with a few people. Martin thinks he actually went to the first one actually back in 1981. But anyways, yeah. But Fran just carried on doing it during his Warner days. He took over in 2000 at PPL and then moved it across to become a PPL event, and which we've kept going since 2000. So yeah, 43 years. Over that period of time running the event, and Fran sends his apologies today. He's not in the best of health at the moment, so he was unable to join us, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I was just recounting days back to 1981 with him just last week. I think again, speaking of health, I also wanted to send out our best wishes actually to 2 of the senior team at PPL. So both Natalie Walsh and Titania Altius are both currently dealing with breast cancer and some related complications from that. And again, I think we're going to take a photograph of everybody today just to send to them, because when we're out and about, we just try to keep sort of doing some selfies, photographs, stay in touch, keep them updated as what's going on. But yeah, I'm sure you'll all join me today in wishing them all the very best with their recoveries and the treatment they're going through at the moment. So that's just wanted to call out today. And I think just in support of that, I'm going to be contacting you all in due course, because in April next year, myself and some of the PPL team are going to run the Berlin Half Marathon, and we're going to do that to raise money for cancer awareness, and obviously in sort of supporting Natalie and Titania, and I will be in contact with all of you to try and help support us and raise money for cancer awareness. It is something that affects us all in some way, and I think that I look forward to receiving your support in our ventures on that. And then, a really big thank you to everybody in the room today, actually. I mean, really good turnout for a Friday in town these days. So thank you very much for making the effort to come along today. But obviously a big part of what myself and PPL try and do is the collaboration across the industry. And obviously we work with all of you in the room in different ways. And actually we couldn't achieve what we do achieve without the good relationships, the good collaboration, all your help and support. And so, yeah, a really big thank you. And it's really nice for us to have this event towards the end of the year. Tough year, lots of things going on, but just to have a chance to get together, celebrate, connect, and say thank you actually for all the help and support. So a big thank you from me. And so, yeah, I think this leads us to toast and say, obviously one of the most important things, a happy and healthy Christmas to everybody. So to good health without my glass. Finally, if we're actually going to take a photograph of everybody here in a minute, but finally, if the 4 o'clock finish today is too early for some of you, not looking at anyone in particular, we will actually be, we'll let them kind of have to set up for the evening, etc. here. So we'll be moving on to the understudy, which is down on the riverside under the National Theatre, just a few minutes away, and we'll try and guide you there if you're still around and fancy going on for another drink. But so I think photograph time, what do you think is the best option? To take one this way, or you want to move over this way? So could I ask, everyone to step forward, and we're going to try and take a photograph this way.
Where they all lie?